It is Tony Lewis from the Martinsburg Alumni Association. Tony, welcome back.
Thank you for having me, Rob.
Good to have you, dude, especially with that nice, deep voice. Wow. You get a job here, man. Or just leave that voice behind after you leave here today.
There you
Yeah,
go.
man. We had you in here last year. How successful was your alumni gathering last year?
It was good. They had a good turnout. Always have a good following, especially from the older generation. And we're working towards another banquet for this year. We're shooting for May 24th to have our annual alumni banquet there at 1 p.m. at the Holiday Inn at Foxcroft. It's always a good time celebrating the kids and the past alum.
And how many alums are there in the area?
In the area, we have, I think one of the last numbers total was about 13,000 plus total alum. Not necessarily all in the area, but stretched out across all parts of the world. So we have a good group. We have a lot of good people that we can celebrate, and we're looking forward to another good event this year.
Who's the oldest alum, Tony?
That is a question I do not have the answer to. I know that we have some that we go back. I think to the class of 38, I think it was mentioned a while back. But I don't have that exact answer. I have to get that for you.
How many active alums participate in what you do?
We have probably, with the board, we have a solid probably 10 to 20 at every meeting. And then outside of that, we have a good donation following coming from a lot of the older generation, but want to reach out to the younger generation to start pushing. One of the things that we really want the alumni to understand and get a good realization of is that with the due structure, we have a $10 annual due fee. That money goes right back to the kids, through scholarships. We have multiple scholarships that we have available. The Martinsburg High School Alumni Association Scholarship is one. The Dunn Scholarship, the Reynolds. We have the John Paul Lynch Scholarship for band members that they can donate to. That's a recently new one. And with the growth in the band that we're seeing and a lot of the great things we're seeing out of Casey Adams' group.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. I have a daughter that's a senior, and I have another daughter that's a freshman. Both have participated in that. I mean, they just did the Cherry Blossom this past weekend for the first time. A lot of good things going on there.
Now, is this dinner is for all Martinsburg High School alumni, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, is this in addition to, do most classes have the traditional homecoming dinners or what celebrations in the fall?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they every 5 years. Typical was with most game plans, we have a 5 year.
Your chair's squeaking, Tony. You might want to try to not swivel as much.
Apologize. Yes, so they have their 5 year reunions, but this is an addition. This is an annual celebration that we do every year, recognizing scholarship winners. We normally have a couple guest speakers come in to speak on behalf of the class. It's a good celebration. It's a good opportunity for past alumni to get together and celebrate the young people that we have.
How many do you expect to be there, Tony?
Right now, the tickets are just going on sale, so I can't honestly say what the numbers will be. Typically, between, I think we had probably about 50 to 75 last year.
How do you buy the tickets?
You can buy the tickets through Jordan Hess downtown. There's tickets there. You can also get them from Patterson's Drugstore. You can buy them there. If not, you can get in touch with Dale Hicks at 304-676-6969.
So I understand that there's a bit of a challenge trying to get younger alums.
Sure.
Yeah. Who do you consider to be younger alums?
Typically, once you get 2,000 and above is where we start to lose a little bit of the disconnect. We've reached out through Facebook and social media to start trying to build a presence there. But I think a lot with the dispersion of kids now throughout the country, that's one of those areas that we like to pull some of those younger people in and get some of those new ideas and have them help build, part of the alum. Right now we have three open positions that we're looking to fill on the board, and I think there's some good opportunities for some new things in the future.
What year did you graduate, Tony?
I was a graduate in 96.
96. And how long did it take you to get involved after you graduated with the Alumni Association?
So you brought a smile on my face. So kind of a long story. I was a class officer in 96, and I often joke because it was one of the obligations coming out of there. And to the credit of Coach Cooper and Anita, they got me pretty quick. So I've been helping and serving in some magnitude pretty much since then, but active on the board for probably the last 10 to 15 years.
Did you stay local the entire time?
I have been local the entire time.
That makes it a bit easier to get involved and stay involved.
It does. It does make it easier to get involved with the organization being local. But that's one of the things I was actually talking a little bit with Coach Cooper there the other day, looking for some opportunities to start broadening out and trying to reach the masses and come up with some ways to do that.
You played baseball at Martinsburg, right?
Baseball and football, yes,
Right,
sir.
and you guys won a state championship in baseball, right?
Yeah, that's correct, in '95.
Right. Does that make it easier to stay together as alums when you have that kind of a bond?
I tell you, I think most definitely in that case. But one of the things that I've had the privilege to watch, especially with my girls growing up, and the part that I really appreciate about Martinsburg from a community perspective, is that community hasn't changed much. The faces have, but the community as a whole hasn't. And all you have to do is attend a couple of events, get involved, participate, and you'll see it. Working with, going back to the football games on a Friday night, working concession stands with band and different folks. I mean, you really do see kind of that multi-generational growth. I mean, Martinsburg is a very old school. I was a multi-generational kid. You have multiple family members that have been there. And it's not hard to be there, to be a present, and see that. You see faces, you see the older generation supporting the kids, and again, I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to continue to grow that. And I think part of that is actually getting in front of the kids early and letting them understand what this actually represents. Because investing in the future with the scholarships and supporting the young people that we have, it's more than just sports. It's more than just building that presence. It's looking at the whole of how we can bring young people back here to continue to support our community.
Tony Lewis, our guest here on the program. We talked to Tony last year ahead of the banquet, and once again this year. Go ahead over the details about the banquet one more time, Tony.
Yes, sir. So we've got the banquet on May the 24th at 1 p.m. at the Holiday Inn. You can buy tickets at Jordan Hess, Patterson's Drug Store, or you can call Dale Hicks at 304-676-6969. They'll be sold through May 16th. Any dues that you would like to submit, $10 for dues, you can submit those at the address for Martinsburg High School Alumni Association, attention treasurer, at P.O. Box 3007, Martinsburg, West Virginia, 25402.
What do you have planned for the banquet? Who's speaking?
This year, still working through some of the final dynamics on that. Normally they have one of the past class officers or representatives come and give a speech on that. I know Principal Sherman typically attends and gives some words as well. So it'll be a good time. It'll be a good opportunity for everybody to get together, and we look forward to having everybody out.
What's the difference between the Alumni Association and the Boosters?
So the Alumni Association in particular focuses entirely on the alum as a whole. We have the opportunity to do a lot of different things. We've recently installed some cabinets there in the library for historical references and documentation. We invest in the scholarship programs with the kids, and we continue to work through that. Boosters are more focused, I think, independently on each sport, each activity, depending on what that represents. But the alumni is looking at each kid as a whole.
So if I go to this historical shelf, would I see any Tony Lewis memorabilia on display?
Yeah, you might be able to pull a yearbook and get a couple laughs, that's for sure.
I called this guy's games when he was playing high school ball. Oh yeah, back in the 90s with football and baseball, and that was, as Tony mentioned, that was the state championship baseball team that he played on there, and that was a very talented team. A lot of kids from that team who how many of you guys played college baseball, Tony?
I would say probably about half.
Yeah.
At least a year or two. I know a couple went on to do some pretty amazing things. I know Ty Hart in particular was a Hall of Famer down at Shepherd.
Right.
And of course, going back to the day, one of my good buddies, Andrew Fincham, he was still probably one of the best hitters that I ever got to watch hit a baseball. We had a really good core group of kids and guys, and the best part about that era too, at least from my perspective, is that 14 or 15-year-old young men. I mean, we all grew up within a couple miles of each other.
Yeah.
From playing baseball at Little League to going way back playing cup ball when we were like 8 to 10 years old and sandlot and picking things up. You know, it was a good group.
Well, I remember even calling Little League the year you guys were all 12-year-olds, and the damage you guys wrought against Little League home run fences. 200 feet was not a big challenge for you guys.
Not for that group. I was only 11. I actually missed that one, but I didn't miss any of the after ones with that as we got older. So, yeah, those were charming times, man. Like to go back, and one of my good buddies that moved into the area that played on that team too, Dave Schwanier, we're still really close. And
he's a good running back.
Yeah, he was a good running back. He was an excellent linebacker too. You know, there's a lot of good bonds there, and it's funny that even as time goes by, when you still see one of them, you get the hug and you get the handshake. Actually, happened to see Kevin Walker in the mall there a couple weeks ago, and we were kind of took a step back and saw each other and big hug and off you go. But
he was a heck of a player too.
Yeah, there was a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah,
a lot of talent.
Hey, good for you guys. Nice you all stick together and still hang out a little bit, see each other, and have good memories. That state championship, was that the one where I think there was like a stole home
suicide
squeeze,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That was the one that turned on that.
Yeah, I think it was actually Dave that scored on that one. Yeah,
Schwanier.
Yeah.
Yeah, the suicide squeeze. That was the semifinal game that got you to the final?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's one of the, I think, iconic plays in local high school sports history.
Yeah, it was, again, man, we could talk for days on that.
I got time. One more time, how do you get tickets to the banquet, Tony?
Sure, you can get tickets through Jordan Hess, Patterson's Drug Store, or you can call Dale Hicks at 304-676-6969.
That's great stuff. Dylan, we're going to take our 9:57 break now, so we'll do the 2-minute break, and we have another guest on the way via telephone.